What's up, you guys? It's Mary.
And Amma.
Leave a chance to like,
Share,
subscribe.
comment down below. Today we're going to talk about Kouri Richins, the lady who has been arrested for killing her husband. She actually wrote this book called Are You With Me? And 3 weeks before she was arrested, she actually had written this show, ABC4, and told them that she, is a widow who wrote this book, Are You With Me? It's a children's book to help kids to deal with grief. And she has three sons, 10, their ages 10, 9, and 6. And so she wrote into the show, and so they invited her on to talk about this. And the anchors were saying when they met her, they was like they didn't have any inkling that she was guilty of anything because at this point no charges had been made. But they said that she showed up. She was all bundled up in in a jacket that she kept on while she was on the show. When she was talking about it, they noticed that she wasn't showing any grief, but they just felt like, hey, it's just a different way of dealing with grief. Imagine their shock when 3 weeks later,
Yeah.
the person you had on your show is arrested for the murder of the husband whom she wrote the book, dedicated the book to,
Very odd.
and now you're arrested. So she was married to this guy called Eric Richins, and he was he had a masonry business, very successful one. And they had been married for a while. I mean, their oldest child was 10. But there had been, she killed him March 4th, allegedly, March 4th, 2022, right? That's when he died. That night, she had given him a Moscow Mule drink. I don't know what that is. You guys tell me what that's made of. Must be a good drink for nighttime, I guess. Anyway, she gave him a Moscow Mule, gave it to him in bed, and then she went into the room of one of her sons, who she says was having nightmares, and so she went there to sleep. And then at 3 a.m., got up from the bed, and then went back to her own bed with her hubby. That's when she felt that the husband was cold to touch. She calls 911, but then deletes it. Then calls them again. When the cops show, she says she thinks it was COVID, that he died from COVID, right? Tells them what happened and all that. They go ahead and seize her computer, like all her electronics, which to me, I don't think they have the right to do that without a search warrant.
Yeah.
So I just wonder if he had talked to them before, but that was weird that they took it then. Anyhow, they found on her phone that she had been in touch with a known drug dealer to them. This female drug dealer, her name was CL, and had bought at 3 different occasions. She had gotten hydrocodone. Remember, this man died March 4th. And so just before Valentine's Day, she got hydrocodone from CL, this drug dealer, right? And Eric had complained to friends that the dinner made him sick. The Valentine's dinner she made him sick. He had also told friends that if he was ever killed or died, for them to look at Kouri. He had told family friends about that.
Yeah.
He suspected that she had been trying to poison him. That he said sometimes she gives him stuff and he feels ill. And then after the Valentine's Day, the hydrocodone that she got, on 2 other occasions, she had gotten fentanyl from CL. The toxicology report saw her that he was found to have 5 times the legal limit of fentanyl in his system.
Wow.
So that was really interesting. The other thing I found interesting was that there was an attorney who was saying that it wasn't until, a pathologist was saying that it wasn't really until the 20th century that they have been able to do like these toxicology reports to actually detect poison in someone who has passed away system. So can you imagine? I'm sure people were before that. People were poisoning people a lot, okay? Because
Yeah.
you couldn't detect it. But anyhow, so that was very interesting. The other thing that Eric had done, he had changed the beneficiary of his will. He had removed her from his will,
Yeah.
and he had put all of their marital assets in a trust. And she was not the beneficiary. He had a life insurance policy. He had removed her as the beneficiary of that, and he had put that to his sister. Okay, they had been fighting over purchasing this $1 million home, $2 million home. He did not agree. He didn't want that. He didn't want to purchase that. She went ahead and closed on that the day after his death. Before that man was even put in the ground, she went ahead and closed on that home, and then she sold the home.
Wow.
I tell you, and then the other thing, there was a prenup where if she ever divorces him, she gets nothing. However, if he dies in the marriage, she gets everything. So sometimes I just wonder, like, there's no reason for someone to be killed. You don't want the person anymore, just, but I just feel like, I don't know who was there when you're signing a prenup. Like, for you not to get anything, especially, there should be something like, if you have a child, this is how much you get. Like, I know Michael Jordan has something like that. Like, after she's been with him for 10 years, his wife, who I think she has been with him now for 10 years, I think she gets a certain amount, If you have one child, you get a certain amount. If you have two children, you have a certain amount. There has to be provisions in all of that, and maybe that's there, but I didn't get that on the clip that I was watching. But yeah, and she's being held without bond.
Wow.
And that's probably because she has the means. I'm sure after selling the $2 million home, she gonna have that means to flee.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because she closed on the $2 million home.
Yeah.
The day after his death, after he had not agreed about it.
Yeah.
But the day after his death, she went ahead and closed on it. And probably people did not even know at that time that he was dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because how would they have known? But she closed on it and then went ahead and sold it. So she had that money. So it's like, so she has the means to flee the country. So she's being held without bond. But isn't that something? Wrote a whole book. Just makes you wonder, like, maybe she was trying to really show that, hey, I'm grieving, or maybe it was her way of making money.
Yeah.
But then you've sold the home, you bought the $2 million home, so you had that asset.
Yeah.
She didn't sell it right away, but then you sold it, so you have to make money from this book. But it's all very interesting. I mean, that's another level of ballsiness. And yes, she's, she has not been found guilty yet. She's just charged that she allegedly killed her husband via poison. Yikes. It's just,
Scary
the other
stuff.
thing is just, it's so sad too, because the kids, even right now, they're not with the mom because she's in jail.
Yeah.
So it's like they're like orphans. They lost the father and they've lost their mom.
Yeah.
Whew.
That's the choice she made though.
But yeah, you guys get in the comments, tell me what you think about this story.
Yeah.
Like, I just found some of the stuff that she has done, but once the case starts, then we'll really see. I really will be very interested to hear from the CL to see exactly how many times, like we know about the 3 times that, 2022, but how many times, like throughout the years, has she been purchasing from her? It couldn't have been like the first time around. But anyhow, get in the comments, let us know.
It's Mary.
And Amma.
Give my chest a like,
Share,
subscribe,
and comment
down below. Bye.